Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Princess of Aesthetically Princess. Yes, that is the name here on this channel. I do all types of random stuff. I do art, I do, you know, clothing, hairstyles, all types of stuff, anything that I feel like posting when I'm bored. But today what we're going to be working on is some art stuff. Now, if you did not know, or if you haven't been here for at least a few seconds, I recently, at the beginning of this year, not very recently, but at the beginning of the year, I got this beautiful tablet. Now, this was a Christmas present, and ever since then I have been working on this tablet for most of my art projects for like the past 4 months. Now, when I started this, the first ever project I did is this one. This is my current lock screen for my tablet and stuff, and I really did enjoy it, but it has now been 4 months and I think it's time to finally start resketching it to see like the differences in, my art style. So I'm gonna start putting a sketch right here as we talk about it. Now, here's the thing. First things first I need to talk about is I end up changing one of the stance of the character. I have not done that stance ever again after I drew that first time, and I hated it when I drew it the first time. Now, when I was sketching this, I was slightly tipsy, so do not get me wrong. I wanted to quickly just do the sketching process so I could have it like, brought down and stuff beforehand. But we just gonna work with it as it is. I did a little sketching over top, changed a few things. I noticed that the way I draw all usually reflects the things that I'm into at the time. So like their clothing has like done a little bit of a few switches and changes. So I am deciding it's time to, officially attempt to redraw this. I'm gonna try to keep redrawing this for the rest of the year. Every 4 months I'll just try and redraw it so that I can, see my progression. I'm actually kind of excited. So let's get into the video. Okay, first things first, as we begin this entire sketching thing, I already have a layer ready, and I'm going to go ahead and delete both of my original sketching layers. And the first thing I usually start on is skin, because it's the easiest and it goes underneath everything else. So have my layer up. Time to begin. Okay, so the first thing we need to work on is the skin. You'll notice in a second that I just like lowered the opacity of my sketching layer. Makes my life so much easier. But I am so happy about like being able to finally see the progress that I've made. While I was drawing this, interestingly enough, I noticed that first of all, I was able to work a lot faster because I've been working on it for so long that it's just like, memory to go through my usual processes of, I always put skin first because usually I draw characters and usually their skin is underneath their clothing, of course. I would hope so. But it's easier to, how do you say, it's faster to move through now that I've been doing this for so long, and I appreciate that for myself. One of my favorite things about this tablet, first of all, is the ability to copy and paste. It will never not be my favorite part about this thing. I can copy and paste like hand drawings. I can copy and paste entire sketches. You just saw me copy and paste her ears, so her ears match. It'll be the best thing about this entire tablet because, man, having to like line things up on like traditionally, you're just like really annoyed and you're really tired of it after a while because you're just like, I feel like this just looks off center. This looks off center. This one looks bigger than the other. This one looks smaller than that one. What the heck? But being able to copy and paste will be your best friend ever, like, period. No joke, no cap. Another thing about working on the tablet, everything looks so much cleaner. Not gonna lie to you, especially after like working on paper for a very long time, you'll notice that like, okay, all of my lines look slightly cleaner, everything looks slightly smoother. I don't have as many and because it's a tablet, you can easily delete your underneath sketching. You don't get the weird overdone sketching lines just that are still just sitting on the paper that just don't want to leave even if you erase it. I love being able to just delete the sketch, and it makes me feel so nice. Also, being able to like remove the sketch to see how everything is going is also one of my favorite things. Oh my gosh. I'm always like, okay, how far am I? What needs to be fixed? Like indefinitely. What looks kind of weird? And I just remove the sketch and I'm like, this is what happened and this is what needs to be fixed. It's very nice. It's very, smooth. I've noticed that I am able to work faster nowadays from, my usual. When I first started, I'm moving so much faster. Like, oh my gosh. The first time I ever worked on my tablet, I think it took about, here, let me check. It took me 4 days in total, but overall, the 4 days that I did it was strenuous and tiring, and I would randomly just give up. And my mom would look over at me because she was the one who bought me my tablet, and she just see me just erasing everything and starting over. So that's like the pain that I went through for that entire sketch. And that's just working the first time. After a while, you speed up and stuff. Thank goodness. Um, 1 second. Entire time track time for my first ever drawing was 6 hours and 48 minutes. Like I said, it took me like 4 days, but this particular sketch, thank goodness that I've learned how to move faster, because this only took me 2 hours and 38 minutes. That will never not make me proud, because honestly, working for so long on a drawing just makes you annoyed after a while. Another thing that I'm really enjoying is, of course, the clipping mask. I think it's one of my best friends now on this entire tablet, other than the merge down. The clipping mask, beautiful. I can get as messy as I want with like my shading, because that's usually what happens, and you won't even be able to see it, bruh. And that makes me so happy, because I am actually one of the messiest drawers ever. I recently did a project where I had decided to do an Earth Day painting, a traditional painting. I made a TikTok on it, so you can watch it on TikTok. But like the the ability to just, hide your shading is such a nice thing to do. And oh my gosh, blushing is so much easier too. Usually I would use a coloring pencil on my acrylic paintings. Here I can just usually use the brush tool, and I blush their nose area, their ears, chin, and joints, shoulders, knees, all types of stuff. And I adore it, especially with the blurring tool that they also offer on the tablet. I can easily just make it look less vibrant, because I do like bright red blushes on all of my characters, never fail, because that's exactly how I wear my blush. So honestly, working on this tablet has become one of my favorite things ever. And I like the bright white highlights. It also makes me happy. Do enjoy. Okay, now that I have finished with the skin tone laying and all of their highlights and blushes, I only add one more highlight, but that's after I do lashes and stuff, but I need to get the rest of her body together. So next is, usually I do shirts first, because shirts will end up beneath clothes. Shirts and any type of sock will end up on the same layer. Makes it easier for me. Okay, on to the next part, which happens to be like the shirts and stuff and the socks that all go underneath the initial outfits. Again, like I said, another one of my favorite things about this is the ability to, because you're working on a tablet, it'll straighten stuff out, it'll correct you if it need be, and it feels nice to be corrected, especially on stuff that's a lot harder to get down packed, like circles. Circles are one of the hardest things you can draw unless you're a really good artist, and you can just draw great circles, because I've seen people that do that, and it's just like so cool to me that you're just able to kill it in making like a free-handed circle. And I'm just like, wow. I, on the other hand, really need this tool, because if not, my circles look like ovals. So the line tool also great, especially if I really need straight lines. Recently I was working on a drawing where I was drawing a bunch of buildings, and the straight lines just made me feel so much better, because the last time I had to draw buildings, I was sitting there with a ruler for like 2 hours. I couldn't do this. I was tired of it and I wanted to go to sleep. I have been really enjoying, for one, my ability to, like, how I say, reflect a lot of my style into like my characters. So like their outfits are very ruffly. They always have on like a pretty white blouse, and then their skirts are really cute. I rarely wear pants, so my characters also rarely wear pants. The dresses in these shirts and these skirts, everything about these characters is stuff that I would usually wear IRL. So being able to put my characters in that has always been nice, but particularly being able to, you know, make it so nice and clean. I take a lot of inspiration off of like Pinterest and stuff. Um, the shirts for this easy as crap. The only thing I had to change really quickly is like her shoulders, her the the size of her shoulders, because it just looked weird. So one of her shoulders is like missing right there. So that's on me. I think one of the most interesting things about being able to work on this tablet also is the colors that you have. I mean, of course you can mix colors, like of course if you were working traditionally you could mix colors and stuff, but being able to get like the next color up for good shading is also just feels great. It's just so nice to be able to be like, okay, yeah, this looks the most closest to it. And I love being able to work lineless. One of my least favorite things is working with lines, mostly because you need to have like really clean, you usually really want really clean lines. And because I don't give a crap, I have been able to, like, you know, say whether I'm working on like tablet or traditionally, I have chosen to start working lineless. I rarely do lines except for like my coloring pages and like lined commissions, but like other than that, I work 100% lineless, which makes my life so much easier, especially with just being able to shade stuff. It's great. I love it. 100% recommend working lineless. I think if a person like works lineless out, I think if a person works lineless at least once, I think it'll help with shading and understanding how to create a contrast between like really similar colors, because this right here makes you go, ah, this is like showing me where ruffles and clothes are usually are, because you can't just leave it flat. I'm so sorry to tell you that, but you usually can't just leave it flat if you work lineless. It just looks weird. So having to, you know, figure stuff out, and it looks really a lot more clean when I work lineless as well, because usually my lines are a little jacked up on the sides and stuff, a little wiggly where they're not supposed to be wiggly. So working lineless has been one of my favorite things. Okay, that layer is now officially done, and it's on to the outfits. Now I have to go get said colors from the original picture, so I'm going to just pick up the colors from right here. I just noticed some things I missed about her outfit, but I am not concerned. It's okay. I will be doing a little bit extra work on hers. So we're going to start with her skirt, and then I think her boots are black. So the skirt, the outfits will all be on the same layer, except for this particular this particular top will be on another layer by itself. So let's begin. Okay, next part on this beautiful list of things to do is their actual colored outfits. Really quickly, I actually had to go pick up the colors from other pictures so I could get the colors like smack dab 100%, you know, the same. And I actually really like the way I did her skirt now, because the first time I did her skirt, it was a little oddly shaped, not gonna lie. But I think that was also what came with having her in such an odd stance. So being able to just, you know, change up her skirt felt nice, especially when I had been doing this particular style of skirt recently for like another one of my characters. I redrew Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls, and she was in a skirt similar to this with the big poofy bell skirt with the ruffles at the bottom. I had seen this particular skirt online, and I was like, oh my god, I would love to wear that. So I was like, I need to put one of my characters in it immediately. So having her in it, usually this this picture actually ended up being like my background to my tablet. So seeing her in something so cute, I was just really happy. I also started adding ruffles to her skirt as well because I wanted it to be like, ooh, everything has cute little ruffles and stuff. It would be a little bit more cohesive. And I also pulled if you notice, I also pulled the characters closer because when I drew it the first time, they were just so far apart, it just kind of looked odd. Like they were two random characters on a piece of paper, which they are, but like at the same time, it looked kind of weird. But at the time that I was drawing this, I didn't want to put them close to each other, mostly because of the fact that I didn't want them to like, I didn't want to make it harder on myself to figure out what to do and what not to do. So like putting them closer is like me being like, okay, now I can distinguish pretty well between my sketches and my characters. So I mean, they're not on top of each other, but they're pretty gosh darn close. I appreciate that for myself. Also, the redo tool, the undo tool, best thing on this tablet. Being able to undo stuff because I mess up so many times. Just being able to be like, yeah, we can't do that. That's not possible. Let's just remove that. And not having to erase anything. Beautiful. Love that thing. So as for the ruffles on the skirt, I did like an interesting style of doing ruffles. I feel like I feel like I need to learn how to do ruffles a little bit more before I can be like, yes, ruffles, best thing ever, easy peasy. I have this down packed. But like the way I'm doing them currently, I actually do like it. But I do still want to improve on that particularly. Eventually, I will also improve on shading one of these days, eventually, eventually. But right now is not the time. This is also a really cool part of my tablet is that I can just easily just, put a clipping mask on and change the colors of certain areas and not change the color of the entire thing. Because, man, having to do like all the extra stuff on top is like annoying. But I actually wanted to keep her little white outlines for parts of her top because her original top had like full white like outlines all over it. But this time I added the white color and the white cuffs on her sleeves. I thought it was cute. I appreciate it. I love how I keep looking at them. They're bald as crap. No hair, nothing. Just no eyelashes, just skin and hair, skin and, clothes. But of course, being able to, you know, see all of my sketches how they are is just so nice. It comes to life a lot more as you add the colors on top. And it actually is really satisfying to see it go from like the sketch to like being able to like put the layers on top. I have been enjoying it 100%. As for their outfits, like I said, their outfits kind of stayed almost exactly the same as how they were, with a few different changes and stuff, mostly because a lot of the stuff I forgot to put on their clothes. I didn't look at my drawing very often. I was just kind of moving. I had the initial sketch down, but like anything else I wanted to add while drawing was just stuff that came to mind that I usually added to my drawings nowadays. So like it really would be like, okay, this is what I'm doing as of recent, not really just me trying to 100% resketch this. It's just me working in my usual process. So their outfits are similar, but a lot has changed about them. So that I appreciate. Nothing too crazy for like the rest of this part. Is just me finishing up all of their sketches and stuff. Really easy, really cool. Okay, now it's time for shoes, and we'll move on to hair, lashes, eyebrows, and accessories, and then we'll be done. I'm so excited for this to be over. So let's begin on on both of their shoes. It should be on this same layer as the skirts since they're not very close. And let's begin. Okay, so we're so much closer to the end. I'm so excited. Now it's time for the breakdown, but no. It is time for me to put their shoes together. Usually the shoes that I usually do are like always quite usually black shoes, not because like, I like have problem with colorful shoes, but like black shoes just bring an outfit together so well. And I have had a certain way that I've been doing shoes as of recently. It's slightly changed up because I've been wanting to, see like the difference in their shoe a lot better. I've been doing a lot of shading on the heel part so it looks more like a two-dimensional heel. I mean, like three-dimensional heel instead of like, just a flat thing of color. The shading on the shoes is a lot of fun for me. Actually, I think it's one of my favorite parts is doing shading on the shoes because it means I'm closer to the end. Honestly, it's literally what makes it so cool is that I feel closer to the end of this drawing. But it's not that I hate it or anything. It's just like after a while you get tired and you want to take a nap. So nap time is in order. But usually these drawings don't really take a long time, and working on the shoes is like the coolest part because you can just like redesign like an entire outfit if you add like cool shoes. But right now I wanted like not really cool shoes. I just wanted kind of basic shoes, especially when in the first drawing her shoes were like a large focal point in the entire drawing because her shoes had this ginormous gold heart on the front of them. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh my gosh, with a crown in it. I actually wanted to, when I first was thinking about doing this drawing, I have crowns that I had made for my May, what is it? Oh my goodness. My May bullet journal setup, and I wanted to put them on the characters, but I'm going to add hair accessories, so I was like, that's a little bit too much. And so I just ended up not doing it. So adding the crown and her shoes was like something I also did not want to do. I wanted to make it pretty simple, but like pretty close to what they were originally. Nothing too crazy, nothing too changed or anything. Just some simple changes in the clothing. Maybe I'll change it even more when I do this again. Just so you know, we're going to do this like every 4 months. So every 4 months you'll see me randomly be like, it's time to recheck my improvement on my sketches. Now it's time for like I said, my favorite part, which is sketching the shoes. It's a lot easier than doing the rest of anything else in the sketch. Honestly, shoes is the easiest part of this entire thing. Least amount of shading, least amount of problems. I enjoy it. So enjoy me sketching shoes. Okay, on to the next not so fun part about working with the tablet. Well, it's fun-ish. I think this really starts to bring the like picture together when you start putting their hair together. I have been enjoying like little hair clips recently, so that's why she's getting little hair clips, and I've been really enjoying like big ginormous headband, so she's getting a big ginormous headband. But working on the hair has been really easy for me, thank goodness, and I've really been starting to do more detailing in their hair. But she has black hair, so I just like might as well just make them black mops. I did that the first time because again I wasn't really understanding how to work on the tablet very well. So working with just their plain black hair was just the easiest for me. And doing it this time is still easy as heck. I like to do like an area in the hair where it's the darkest so it looks like you can see like the back of their hair through it, so that's exactly what's happening. I think the one character's hair that I like the most is the character in red. Her hair is like so much more fun to work with now because when I first did it, it kind of looked weird, but now it kind of looks a little bit more, how do you say, hair like. Before it just looked kind of odd, and I was like, I don't. Every time I look at it, I was like, something about her hair here just don't make me feel nice. But overall, having the hair part to these characters is like one of the, not going to say the easiest, but it's one of the quickest processes if you're just going with it. Because usually I'm like you can see here, I'm just following how I want their hair to look and then adding a few tendrils so it looks more like hair and not just like a black void abyss behind them. Usually my hair takes up like 3 layers, one over the skin, one behind the clothes and everything else, so that you can see that their hair falls like behind their body. I don't usually like to put hair on top of clothes because I like, one of my favorite things about drawing characters is giving them cool outfits, so when their hair like becomes a problem, it just feels odd. Hair, again, easiest. What's not the easiest is lashes and eyebrows. even on like a human person, lashes and eyebrows are not easy. So putting them on characters and having to get them drawn, even worse. It took me a while to do the lashes on these characters. Eventually I ended up copying and pasting the red characters' eyebrows and lashes and stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't feel bad, like even in the slightest, about any of that. But usually the problem with lashes is trying to get them, like, the way I draw characters is I don't like to draw eyes. I used to draw really good eyes, but like I stopped liking to draw eyes, so I just usually, my art style is to have their eyes closed and big ginormous lashes. So it's just like a fun part to it is to like put their lashes on, but goodness gracious, when their lashes do not want to do right by me, it hurts. It makes me sad. So what you're seeing now is me, like, you know, drawing lashes for like the third time, and now really trying to get them, like, I don't know, cohesive, look nice. I eventually noticed that her face looked kind of weird, so I had to like redraw her mouth. That literally me sitting there staring at it for a second and be like, wait a second, something about this don't feel right. I literally cut out like the 10 minutes I spent drawing on another pair of lashes. So excuse that. Honestly, copying and pasting lashes has also been one of my favorite things. Copying and pasting all of like their eye area just makes my life so much easier. Of course, I quickly merged everything down, took her lips, and like literally just made them bigger, respaced them, moved them around, made it a little changes here and there. Honestly, I thank myself for this, because honestly her lips were turned weird and I didn't notice it until I was drawing the rest of her face. So that's nice, that's great, we love that for me. Now I'm just going to add in the last bit of highlights on their faces, and I can move in to accessories. That part is going to be pretty fun. Okay, guys, time for one of my favorite parts. Again, honestly, I think this one takes the cake for my favorite parts, and that is adding in all of their gold detailed accessories. I love accessories. I don't leave the house without like my rings, necklaces, anklets, belts, chains, all types of stuff. So adding them onto my characters is me really pushing myself into my art. One of the things I did when I first drew these characters is I took inspiration from the Coco Chanel chain belts and stuff, because I really, really, really love them. I actually try and add them to most of my drawings, mostly because I really want one. And so like making myself my own little monogrammed gold chain for like all of my characters was so much fun. I also changed their earrings, mostly because I've been wearing more hoops these days. Even though I can't really leave my house, I just wear a lot of hoops recently, so putting them in hoops was like my ode to myself, especially in like at that moment I like noticed that I had weirded out the shaping of the hoops, so I just copy and pasted. It makes my life easier. As for this character, she has in my small gold hoops, so I love them. They're one of my favorite things ever. 100% would recommend you getting like small chunky hoops. You'll love them. Like I said, each character got their own little chain of their own little set of gold accessories. Another thing about me working with gold I've been so proud of myself for is, oh my gosh, the way I, shade gold has been so pretty after working with it for a while. The way I do it is like I like use a clipping mask and make it look like it's shining. I actually thought it was really pretty. I think I originally got it from who? I don't even remember who I got it from. My goodness. I can't even remember who like inspired that one. But I actually was like, ooh, this looks so much better than the flat brown gold that I had originally. I've been adding a lot more gold to my drawings, mostly because they look pretty on my characters. Especially when I draw African American characters, their gold just looks so nice. And the process of this is just so much easier. Oh my gosh. 10 out of 10 would recommend working like this for your gold pieces. It makes them look 3D, and it also, the shining of it just looks so pretty. Oh my goodness. I like anything shiny, so this made my day. Enjoy the rest of the accessory shading and as such. Okay, we're finally getting to the end of this entire drawing. Oh my gosh, they look so nice. So this is the before my original drawing, and love it, but it's time for it to go. And this is my after. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. If you want to see more art videos, I do have some. They're all over my channel. Go check them out, and thank you for watching, and I will see you guys the next time. Bye.